Okay, here we go. Lesson 1, build it. So the first bullet point they say is let's use tools to create shapes precisely. So tools and shapes. Let's talk about those two words. The tools that we're first going to be exposed to in Unit 1 include a compass. This is a compass. And a straight edge. And for me, I am using a ruler today for my straight edge. So I need you to have both of these tools at your house or wherever you live. Just make sure you have a compass and make sure you have a ruler. Please don't take any of the tools from the classroom home with you, and please go get one on your own. Okay, so first question, 1.1, the right tool. So again, compass and a straight edge. So question 1 says, copy this figure, using only a pencil and no other tools. I'm gonna use a pen. I love these pens, but I'm supposed to copy this figure with no tools. Pen or pencil, no tools. So first I see a circle, then I see another circle, and then it looks like there is 2 points, P and Q, and then a line that connects P and Q. So I'm just gonna try to duplicate that as best I can. So can't use any other tools, that's the big challenge. So I'm gonna do my best here. You're gonna notice it's pretty hard. I'm trying to draw my first circle. Just hand drawing it as best I can. I love trying to hand draw circles, it's always fun. But you're gonna find that there's a better way than hand drawing the circle. It's about half the circle so far. It's really hard to make a perfect circle. As you can see, I am a geometry teacher and it's still very difficult to draw a perfect circle. Okay, so now I see about this much. Need to leave some room. So this is about, okay, it's about a pen. And it starts in the middle. So let's just say, boom, there's the middle. And it's about a pen's length away. We're gonna call this Q right here. So P, P's kind of at an angle. Q's like over here somewhere. Trying to get the font and everything. We'll see if it works. Then I see a line. This looks like a straight line from P to Q. And now we're gonna go up here. Looks like an intersection point, like right around the middle. Another one like right around there. I'm just doing my best to copy this image. Just like the directions say, using only a, well, pencil or pen and no other tools. That's the goal. I do not like this circle already. Okay, there we go. PQ, line between them, couple circles intersecting. All right. So that's all they asked me to do, is copy this figure using only a pencil and no other tools. So, hey, I came close enough, right? close enough, right? Just do your best. Okay, number 2. Familiarize yourself. That means get comfortable with your straight edge. There's your straight edge. And your compass. There's your compass. By drawing a few circles, key word, circles, of different sizes, a few line segments. You notice those are in bold. There's a line segment. That's a good example. Different lengths. It's a math word. And extending some of those line segments in both directions. So that's important. Okay, so what do I understand from those directions? Well, I gotta get used to my tools, so get comfortable with my tools. Gotta draw circles. And I gotta draw line segments. And make sure the lines go in both directions. Okie doke, I think I can do that. So your compass is how you draw your circles. Now, let me loosen this a little bit. I'll show you how to loosen it. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. So there's lefty. Left loosens it. So let's start with like a small circle. They want a few circles of different sizes. So the best bet for using a compass is you start with a sharp point. You just put it right in the middle. So I'll do some circles over here. And then in order to not have to move my paper, I like to just move the compass, because you'll find that if you have to move the paper, you end up needing more space. So look at all the space that you need if you have to move the paper. So I always recommend just keeping the paper fixed and just get comfortable with the compass. Okay, now let's make a little bit bigger circle. So I'm gonna go a little bit that way. How about that? We could use the same center. You'll start to see that. Whoa, these are much better circles than what I drew up here. And just for fun, let's do a third, because they said a few. And in my definition, a few is more than 2. So I'm gonna stop at 3, because I don't wanna do any extra work, because I am busy. Okay, let's do a third circle, and we're gonna call it a day. All right, there's a few circles. A few line segments of different lengths. So line segments could be really a lot of different things. So here's a line segment. Boom, 1 and 2. 2 points, right? And you only have to extend some of those in both directions. So why don't we do some more? Let's go over here. And you might even call it AB. Don't have to. They didn't tell you you had to. But here is a line segment. Let's do another one. How about CD? My favorite way to draw line segments is put your pen on the dot, put the ruler against the pen, draw the line to the other dot. That's the easiest way that I've found. And they said a few line segments. So why don't we go this direction here? Call this one EF. This will be, I don't know, circle, center J. Circles with center J. So EF. So again, point, ruler, other point, boom. connect the dots. All right, so we've done what the directions have said. We have read the directions out loud. We have identified the key math words. You might even circle the bold statements, whatever works for you. But there's a couple things that we still haven't done to get full credit. To get full credit, you got to do everything that the directions ask you to do. So the last thing is saying extending, basically making longer some of those line segments in both directions. Now, right now, A, B, C, D, and E, F, those are known as line segments. Those are great examples of line segments. A, B, C, D, and E, F are line segments. So now you know. Now, we have to extend a few of these in both directions. So let me just do, let me start with this one that we already did here. So you got this. Let's go in both directions. So there's one direction, there's two directions. And draw a little arrow at the end. That just means they keep going in both directions. All right, let's take a look at AB. Got point A, point B. And you just want to extend in both directions. Okay, now we got A, B, C, D, and E, F. They were line segments first, but now these are just lines. Line segments are a little bit different from lines. Lines extend in both directions. Line segments have a starting and an end point. Starting point and an end point. So anyway, there's number 2. Done with that one. Up to 12 minutes on good pace here. Okay, here we go. Number 3, complete these steps with a straight edge. What's a straight edge? Well, ruler's usually your best bet, but sometimes you don't have a ruler, so there's a lot of other things you could use. We'll get to that later. And a compass. Remember, see where it says compass right there? In case you're wondering what a compass is, it's on the tool. So let's just follow the directions. That's the goal on this one. Okay. Letter A. Draw a point and label it A. Okay. Point A. Letter B. Draw a circle centered at point A with a radius length of PQ. Now, this PQ that they're referring to is right here. And I'll show you how to do that. So you just get this trusty compass and you set it to the distance PQ. Pretty easy. Make sure it matches up. So whether we start at P or Q, that's going to be about that distance. It's pretty good. It's almost perfect. You got to be really precise. That looks good to me. That's PQ. Okay, so we've measured PQ with the compass. So let's go back here. So now we know that the radius is going to be the length of PQ. Now watch this. Put the point on A. And we're just going to build a circle with a radius of length PQ. Now, what is a radius? The radius is the distance from the center of a circle to a point on the outer edge of the circle. That's all a radius is. It's the distance from the center to a point on the outside of the circle. And it could be any point on this circle. So let's go ahead and go to C. So mark a point on the circle. When they say point on the circle, it just means like, there's a point on the circle, right? So you could have put that anywhere on this circle. And they want us to label that B. Okay. Now, draw another circle centered at B that also goes through point A. And lucky us, it should still be the same as we set the compass. So just put the point on B, put the pencil on A, and it'll go through A. Now, again, you could spin the paper, but that's why they created this top portion of the compass right here. So you can just hold on to it and spin it with your finger. That way you don't have to spin the paper. All right, now, last but not least, draw a line segment between points A and B. To do that, you need a straight edge. So you just go like this. There you go. We have done all the steps and we are done. Number 3. All right, here we go. Number 1, we're just going to, again, follow the directions. Let's just follow the directions. Create a circle centered at A with radius AB. So circle, center A, radius AB. Again, radius is the distance. So the distance from the center to a point on the circle. That's what the radius is. So if we need to create a circle centered at A with the radius of AB, and we know the radius is the distance from the center to a point on the outer edge, all we got to do is just set this compass to AB. So let's do that. Or BA, it's going to be the same either way. Might have to loosen it just a tiny bit just so you can set your distance, which can be tricky at times, but that's okay. Pencil's there, points there. We are golden. Tighten it back up so it doesn't move on you. And then build the circle. So circle, center A. We know the radius is that. So we're just going to start over here. Oh, I kind of missed it by just a tiny bit. So let me just change that again. That's okay. Let's try it one more time. Just needs to be a tiny bit bigger. Tiny bit bigger. That's about right. Let's see if I can nail it this time. Nope, too big. But that's okay. We're just gonna say this circle right here goes through B. Not the greatest. But you just gotta adapt. You make mistakes. Adapt and move forward. It's okay. I just want to make sure mine is precisely what they tell me to do. This is technically 2 circles, but you just learned how to create a cool double circle. You can color it in if you want. Should have used coloring pencils or colored pencils. That would have been nice. All right, so we're basically there. Estimate the midpoint of segment AB. There's AB. And label it C. So I'm going to say the midpoint's right around there. I'll call that C. Okay. Create a circle centered at B with radius BC. So to do that, you set your compass to B, the center, and C is going to be, all right, oh, not quite, you gotta go in a tiny bit more. So hard to get it just right, but that's okay. Also, I'm gonna say that's good enough. Okay. Create a circle centered at B, radius BC. Okay, that's a little better. See, it slipped on me, and that's okay. You just go back to your original center point, and you just complete the circle that way. Oh, what was going on here? Must have made a couple of mistakes. That's okay. I am human, so are you. And us humans make mistakes. It's totally okay. Okay, so we're gonna create two intersection points. Intersection points are basically like meeting points. So I got 2 circles, 2 intersection points where they meet. So label the one toward the top of the page right here. We're gonna label this one point D. And the one towards the bottom right here is gonna be point E. Use your straight edge to connect AD and E to make triangle ADE. Okay, so there's A, there's D, and there's E. Let's make this triangle. Lightly shade it in with your pencil. I'm just gonna use my pen. So lightly shading this ADE in. And if you do all those things, you will have followed the directions enough to get full credit. That would be a full credit answer right there. This is just testing your ability to follow directions and use a compass and straight edge. Got to familiarize yourself or get comfortable. With a compass and a straight edge. Okay, let's go to 1.3. Can you make a perfect copy? So here is a hexagon. Okay, what is a hexagon? Well, that's a shape with 6 sides. Now, I can even make that definition a little better, but basically it's a shape with 6 sides. Now, here's a better word. A polygon with 6 sides. Now, we'll talk about what a polygon is later, Hey, Claire, don't throw rocks at a bear box. Thank you. We need those rocks. Those are for the basketball court. Got it? Don't throw those rocks anywhere. Okay. Okay, a polygon with 6 sides. Okay, so draw a copy of this regular hexagon using only your pencil and no other tools. Trace your copy onto tracing paper. Try to fold it in half. What happens? Okay. Do I have tracing paper? Maybe. Okay, let's use... I'm going to try to draw it using only your pencil. Let's go step by step. Don't let the directions overwhelm you. Oh, I can already tell it's bad. It's okay. Right to there. Let's go to there. Go there. 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 And then go there. Okay. They want us to trace onto tracing paper. Well, let's see what I can do here. Maybe this would work. Yeah, that should work. Okay, tracing paper. Luckily, computer paper typically does go through. Okay. Now, try to fold it in half. Okay. First of all, let me just rip this out. I can use it. Okay. My daughter's drawing. All right. So we're gonna try to fold this thing in half. So I'm gonna go from point to point here. I'm gonna go from this point to this point and try to fold it. There's a point up top and a point right there. We're just gonna fold it in half. Now what happened? If you look real closely, can you see that it's not perfect? Like the lines are not lining up. That means that I did not draw what's called a regular hexagon, which this one actually was. Because they said, here is a hexagon with all congruent angles. That means that this angle is congruent to this angle, which is congruent to this angle, which is congruent to this angle, this one, and this one. And all congruent sides. So all the sides are also congruent. We'll talk about what congruent means, but the simplest way is, simplest synonym for congruent is same.